Hello everyone and welcome back for another episode of Frosthaven. We're back in town with our 2 level 4s and 1 level 3, our Banner Spear, Drifter and our Blink Blade. And we need to decide what we're going to do in town. We have a couple of things that we can definitely do. We've got, let's go to new buildings first. We can build a boat, sled, climbing gear. That will allow us to access different quests. Go slightly different routes out in the world. We've also got upgrades available on the Craftsman and the Alchemist. Or we can just do some buying and selling of stuff at the Hunting Lodge. We can upgrade these, however, not until we're town level 3. So we've got 8 more prosperity to get before we can do that. Soldiers are all fully stocked. And I believe we can't upgrade our defense any further. Yeah, that needs to wait. So, Alchemist, we're going to upgrade you. It's been a little bit of time. This is going to allow us to decompose potions containing 2 herbs. Let's get the upgrade going and we're going to donate to that. It needs 2 metal, so 2 metal from here. It needs 1 hide, so 1 hide from there. And we're a bit low on lumber, but we can always buy lumber. Actually, speaking of being able to buy lumber, let's give 2 from here. And we'll get that going. Right, building is done. We can craft stuff now that we are... Jesus, spiked collar. We'll come back to this in a second. Now that we've got our craftsman ranked up, we did have a little look through to see what kind of stuff there was. And there wasn't really anything that struck me as super interesting. The Horn of Command, if we had summons that we couldn't command, that could be kind of useful. As it is, not really. The spiked collar, the only thing I think that this could be useful for is with the mirrored knife. So you would use the spiked collar to give yourself a bleed and then use the mirrored knife to give it to someone else. Except you still get to keep it yourself. So even then it's not particularly useful. I'm not convinced. I'm just going to say that, not convinced. Head, body, legs. You've got many handed items and small items. Don't think we can... Yeah, we can't equip any more because it's based on our level. Holy water is not amazing. The poison vial is also not amazing. So I think when we can, we'll decompose these. We'll use the poison vial instead of the holy water on the Banner Spear for whatever the next mission is. Let's have a look at the Alchemist. There are still other potions that we can make. So let's see. You've only got 2. Let's get a brand spanking new potion in there. Oh, we don't actually have any rock fruit. We also don't have the mushrooms. We can make this one though. It's a power potion. Add 1 to all of your attacks. Yes, this will definitely go on the Drifter. We'll get rid of the explosive vial and bring the power potion for now. This has got the potential to be really quite useful if we're doing something like draining arrows hitting 3 enemies. It's a minor boost, but it is a pretty consistent minor boost. Explosive vial is useful if we know we're going up against specific shielded enemies, but that's good. We can also make another potion. So you've got healing and frenzy. You've got healing and poison. A stamina potion. Ooh. Stamina potions are useful for everyone. Especially for something like set for the charge. Let's give it to the banner spear, and we'll bring it out instead of the poison. I like that we're finding out what's going on with the various recipes. Feels like we're learning stuff. What's a cure potion do? Select any 2 identical herbs to brew an unhealthy mixture. Well, we're not going to want to do that. Can we inspect this? Oh, there we go. Remove 1 negative condition you have. Ah, so we did have this. I think we may have sold one of these. Over on the merchant, is there anything that we care about? It doesn't look like it. So back to town we go. We've done our shopping. We've done our various bits of building. We're heading back out into the wilderness. Up on the peak, we have Snowstorm Peak and the temple entrance. This is where we were last time. I think the temple entrance is going to be the interesting thing. We'll go after some night demons, which I don't like, because we get a disadvantage attacking them, and the steel automaton that we've seen over in the eastern side. An encounter along the way.
Just outside Frosthaven, right where the road begins to become less travelled, you find a man in dusty white vestments. A few burnt-down candles are on the ground next to him, dripping wax onto the rocks. The young priest holds out a bowl for offerings.
Would you like to make a donation? I would be happy to extend the blessings of the Great Oak to you as protection on your journeys.
He sees your trepidation in turning over hard-earned gold.
The sanctuary sent me here to set up a shrine, but unfortunately I was set upon by robbers. I just need a bit of time to earn back the funds, that's all. And my blessings are nearly as good as the ones you'd find elsewhere.
We're not short on money, is what I'm thinking right now. And without something else to spend it on, we can make an offering. How much? 5 gold. There we go.
You drop a few coins in the wooden offering plate, which gets you a sincere nod of thanks. He sends you on your way, but you feel a bit lighter in your step.
Yeah, because there's no gold in our pocket. So Seraph is going to get blessed at the start of the next quest. That's alright. I'll take a blessing for 5 gold. Okay, battle goals. Become exhausted before any other hero. Don't like that. Never exit a hex adjacent to an enemy. We could go for Duelist. Then for our Drifter, Shirker, Insomniac. We could go for Hunter and try and kill an elite. And then Seraph. We'll go for Mugger. Those seem all quite reasonable to do. Duelist is going to be the one that we have to try and remember. Don't step away from an enemy.
Approaching the ruins on the mountain slope, you discover a copse of carved stone, vestiges of some forgotten past. A number of broken, time-battered pillars stand on the mountain slope, and following them, you arrive at a pair of large stone doors. On them, you make out an expansive mural, still quite clear despite how many years it's been buried. It depicts a history. First, a village, small and wooded. Then a vast city, with tall buildings and wide roads. And last, there is only flame and ruin. Above these 3 depictions, there is another set of carvings, that of man aging in reverse. First, an old man above the town as it's being built. Then an adult as the settlement flourishes. Then finally a baby, cooing on its back above the flaming ruins. Your curiosity is too much to resist. You push on the doors, and with grinding stone and cracking rust, they give in. It's clear that this place, though well preserved under the snow and rock, is still ancient enough to have felt the passage of time. Corroded columns and scraps of metal litter the floor like an ancient junk pile. But sometimes treasure can lie hidden in unlikely places. You get as far as the steps, far enough for the coldness of this ruin to seep into your skin. And then the ground stirs.
That's
Those
not good.
scraps of metal you took for junk lurch upward, filled suddenly with life, and a slew of dented iron faces turn toward you. Ancient automatons. They don't seem like much of a threat, these ruined things. But there are a lot of them, and there's no knowing how deep this passage goes.
We've got a little bit of experience with these. Should be able to take care of them. Now this is a relatively simple mission. Kill all enemies. It looks like we've got 2 rooms. We've got a door. But we have a lot of ancient artilleries, and a fair number of them are elites. So this is potentially going to be quite painful. I'm not sure how best we're going to deal with these, actually. We'll be able to do some ranged shots for certain. But I am not keen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Given that they can potentially shoot up to 5 range, I think we've seen them shoot up to 5 range before, and they're immune to muddle. I think we're going to need Unbreakable Wall, get the shields up as much as possible. If we go for... Do we have anything that's going to allow us to move on the top? Probably not. I want to do Unbreakable Wall. I think we're going to go with air support and Unbreakable Wall. So we'll get the shot off first. And then, in fact, if we stand in the middle, we'll be the most likely to get hit by anything. We'll go precision aim, and I think we can go with relentless and then try and stand next to the enemy in the future. Over this side, I think we'll go slowly. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So you should still get targeted first. And if we go for cascading reaction, that will move us in. And twin strikes might be enough to finish this guy off. Feels a bit sketch. Let's do it. Yeah, range 5. All enemies adjacent to the target suffer 2 damage, so we don't want to be standing in place if we can avoid it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So even this guy is in range of us. We'll put the shield on. Blink Blade is going to come up on this side. From here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, you're going to be in range of everyone if you're there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You won't be in range of that guy, but you'll be in range of... Well, you'll attack here, you'll attack here, probably. That's all probably. At the very least, we'll get one of them gone. So we might end up taking a bit of damage and then have to deal with it. We can use the protective scepter. Get the ranged attack bonus. And get the retaliation. And next turn we'll have to deal with things as we can. So painful. This is gonna really suck. That could have been a lot worse. If we get in, we can start doing damage straight away. So we're going to want deflecting maneuver. And I think set for the charge. Drifter. We're going to do draining arrows. These are going to be at range 3. So if we can get to here, we can hit the most. Deadly shot will get us in position. Time to start going fast. I think we'll go after the elite. So we need to move 2. Which we can do with kinetic transfer to move in and stab him. And then we could hit and run to stab him and jump away maybe to this one. Or we do the blurry jab on him. Yeah. So kinetic transfer to jump in and stab him. Blurry jab to stab him and wound him. And hopefully that'll finish him off. They're doing big area things. So let's try and reduce the impact. Skip the rest of the movement. Get the advantage and extra damage. We won't use the ancient fuel falchion just yet. We might use the stamina potion though to get back set for the charge. Or to get back air support. Oh, it has to be a level 1 card. Oh, that's interesting. Well, we're definitely going to do set for the charge. Drifter, get into the middle. Actually, just to here, 1, 2, 3, that'll be in range of all the ones that we need. Draining arrows. We're going to have the muscle potion and the power potion. So these 3 hits with advantage. And that's a good amount of damage. onto the artilleries. Blink blade. Use your boots. Over we go. Have a stab. I don't think we need to poison him. Have the frenzy. Damn, if we'd done that originally, that would have been enough. And we can step in and get a little bit of loot, I guess. Blowy Jab was the wrong card to put in that situation. We could have potentially jumped all the way to the back, but I want to start looting. Okay, so it's put it in between the two of us. It's supposed to be at range 3. 1, 2, 3. If it puts it there, there is no way it's catching him. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, that feels like it's been a bit sketch with the distance. We'll be fine. We just need a bit of regen to come in. Set for the charge will move us round. And probably rallying cry to just start wailing on this thing. I feel like we need to do a bit of healing. Let's get a shot out. With continuous health, and we'll use Vile Assault to move up and heal a little bit. Going to keep going fast. 1, 2, 3, 4 move will be enough. Or temporal displacement to attack at range. I think we'll have to do temporal displacement to attack at range, and then hit and run is going to be a little bit of moving for us rather than attacking, which is fine. It gets us a little closer. More big range stuff don't stand next to each other. We could go all the way up to the back, but I think it's better if we take one out. So get round and have a stab. It's pretty solid. Drifter, go ahead and get him killed, please. And we'll put that onto precision aim. And we'll go and loot this. A little bit of money. Temporal displacement attack. Oh, that's a... It's a shame it wasn't a little bigger. Wow. We can't, unfortunately, hit the guy, so skip the attack. Just move in a bit closer. That is quite painful, but thankfully, there's only the 2 of them left. We move around 3, we can reach him. which we can with Meat Grinder. So let's go quickly. We use Meat Grinder to move around and give us a little bit of regen and just get right in his face. One, two, three, four, five, six to get across and do looting. Shockwave will get us a bit closer. And then we can use Chunk of Flesh to give ourselves a little bit of healing. We need to move slowly. We're going to move 2, probably with Sand in the Hourglass. So Banner Spear, round we go. Heal yourself. And we'll start whittling this guy down. Hey, an extra shield. And disarmed him. That is a lucky roll. So handy for us right now. Drifter, come across a little bit. Chunk of Flesh, skip the attack, just give yourself some healing, and we'll get a little bit more on that precision aim. This guy's disarmed. So all he does is just push us away. This one, however, not disarmed. Round we go. And finish it off. We'll do let them come to allow us to move in a bit closer and at all costs. So we could regroup to pull you across. That's not going to help with anything else. Because we need to move in 3. We're going to have to do 2 turns worth of moving regardless, which then means we're going to be resting up. So we may as well put on sustained momentum and then move in once next turn. Yeah, we'll put on sustained momentum. For right now, we'll just grab this and build up a little bit of our speed. On goes sustained momentum. And we may as well do the prudent preparation. And because we're about to do a long rest anyway, we may as well use our healing necklace. Banner Spear did actually get some of that regen. Honestly surprised by that. Step in, skip the movement, have a stab. Another disarm, please. Not as useful as last turn. Not going to be too much damage, but still going to be a pain. Make it count for a little bit of healing. And a little bit of blessing. And we'll just step and grab this. Hey! Maybe we threw him off by being right in his face. Either way, he's kind of not causing us too much trouble, so let's do a long rest. We've never walked away from him. He's pushed us away, but we've not walked away, so we've still got Duelist. We've already killed an elite over here, so we've got our hunt bit done. And we've done Mugger up with our Blink Blade as well. Ooh. The Ancient Artillery is going to focus fire on the person furthest away. That's just mean. Drifter, we're going to walk in, grab the loot. Skip the rest of the movement. Skip the attack. You'll do a long rest next turn. Here's a long rest up here. I think we will lose probably kinetic transfer. It'd be nice to get some proper healing. Over here, I think we will lose Resolved Courage. I don't think it's going to be that useful up against these automata. Let's hit him with an air support, and we'll do a meat grinder, potentially to get some regen going on you if we walk away and get that in place. Long rest on the Drifter. That's going to do the last bit of healing. As for our Blink Blade, we don't have any regen abilities. We've got healing abilities, but we don't have regen abilities. That's kind of interesting. If we're going fast, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then attack could work. So Blurry Jab could move in, and then Twin Strike could kill it and loot it in the same turn. In comes the Blink Blade.
You push forward, delving
was
further
not
into
expecting
this
the door
hall,
to open.
wondering at its purpose.
I should have looked at where it was
From
going.
what you can gather, this place is no tomb. There is no smell of decay, but neither is there one of life. You enter a room that somehow managed to withstand the beating of time. Here, the floors are still intact, and the stone is less worn down. Of course, that comes with a trade. As you enter the new room, another group of mechanical creatures turn. These ones wholly put together and preserved, their sharp metal bodies glinting in the low, flickering light of your torches.
It's not a problem. It is a big problem. It's a big, big guy. So there's a chest at the back that we want, of course. The Night Demons, 1, 2, 3, are gonna come in and cause us trouble. Like, real trouble. Let's get this poisoned. We could back up. And I think it's a smarter choice. Skip the rest of the attack. And the reason I think it's a smarter choice is because we've got the air support. Let's drink our potion. So, air support. I think we need to get regen on the Blink Blade. I want to loot this. But right now it's not going to be the smartest choice. You're going to move 1, 2, 3 to there. Let's get behind for right now. Get the regen going. And these guys move relatively slowly. Drifter. Let's lose... Oh, crushing weight. And we're gonna come on into the area next turn. So Drifter going quickly. Prudent Preparation will give that retaliation. Shockwave will allow us to move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll get right up into melee with him. And Prudent Preparation, if he attacks us, he gets the old Retaliate. That works. We can hit the Night Demon Elite with Temporal Displacement. Alternatively, we can use Make It Count, step in and stab him, and then hit and run to stab him and step away. And I think I prefer that as a combination, so we'll do that. With the positioning... Rallying Cry is not massively useful, but we can get the banner out, and that would be useful. Getting the banner out before the Blink Blade. Ooh, we could get the Banner of Courage out. Give everyone a little bit of shield. Probably not necessary. And I don't think the regroup is going to be quite necessary either. Let's say Deflecting Maneuver and Rallying Cry. We'll get the banner out and be done with it. So Night Demons are coming in and they're doing nasty stabbing. Not really much of a surprise. Get right up in his face. Prudent Preparation. Extra Retaliate. Extra Shield. This guy might be dead by the time it becomes relevant, but these ones are definitely going to make it in. So, Banner of Strength out. And then Deflecting Maneuver is unfortunately wasted, but we'll still consume We're going to want to pierce that steel automaton when we can. Okay, make it count. Step in. Skip movement. Stab. With the banner of strength. Not really a surprise. Disadvantage, very unfortunate. We have locked him in place, though. And these are only going to move 2, so let's go grab the loot. I will use my shield. And you will take 3 retaliatory damage, so this guy will die on his next turn. This is good. This has given us quite a nice buffer area. We stand next to this guy. We can do a let them come. Let's set for the charge, let them come. We'll move up and grab that. We're going to go for draining arrows, unsurprisingly. And after that, we could potentially do deadly shot to back away. Or bloodletting to back away. Bloodletting to back away is fine. Because we're moving slowly over here. Let's be optimistic and say temporal displacement and sap speed. And we'll see where these guys are moving in quickly. Giving you all of that retaliation damage. Now, the joy of this is it doesn't matter if we're attacking them at close range with our draining arrows, because we're not going to get more disadvantage for a ranged attack at that close range. We got quite lucky with the way that worked. Does mean we can't stand next to our friend and hit them all in the way that we wanted. We can do a let them come like this, however. And then we may as well grab the loot. Drifter, it's going to be just 2 draining arrows for you. Although I could argue that we don't need to use draining arrows. We can get away with using 2. One of them should die, the other one... Oh, look at that. That's so unfortunate. You know what? Just to reinforce it. There you go. I'll use the amulet of life as well. Blink Blade can come in and try and help out. So the idea to step in and grab stuff with temporal displacement, probably not as useful as stepping in and hitting this guy just across his chest. The the big guy is on his way. We've got time to regroup. We can move the banner up. Over here, Vile Assault will allow us to like step in a little. Chunk of Flesh will give us back a use of something. That's good. And we'll just go slowly and gather some speed. We could do a bit of healing with Sand in the Hourglass. Let's do these and see where the dice lie. That Steel Automata is continuing to come closer. Move the banner forwards. And we may as well move everyone a little bit closer as well. Drifter. Chunk of Flesh first. Nice wallop. Get some healing on ourselves. And we'll get another use back of Relentless, I think. And we'll step in here, which is definitely a waste, but it gets the looting done. Blinkblade, you're going to stay put. We'll do a bit of healing. And no one to stab, so we'll leave it at that. We could probably do a short rest down here. Let's move into the next room, and we'll do a short rest on the Blinkblade as well. Sure, we can lose Let Them Come. And we can lose Sap Speed. I'm fine with both of those. Set for the Charge will move us up quite far, but we won't quite be in a position to do much. So let's go for At All Costs and Set for the Charge. That gets us moved up slowly. As for the Blinkblade, speaking of slowly, we want to go slightly faster than the 60. One, two, three, 4-ish. He's going to need to get round. We can definitely get into the room. Let's say make it count. We'll get a bit of blessing out there, and we'll use Blurry Jab to move in. So, Drifter. We get kind of tucked in round the edge. That feels fine. I get the feeling you're going to be mostly tanking this. This is a bit hopeful. Very nice. Unexpected, but very nice. If I take Relentless, that's a lot of damage that this guy will do to himself by hitting us. least that's the intention. Blink Blade. Bless, bless, and, well, may as well. Oh no, sorry. It's only bless on ourselves, but a bit of healing on everyone else. And step up a little. This guy's going to do ranged attacking. Pierced ranged attacking. Dislike that. Up we come. Ow. Right in the face. Now the air support does pierce, so if we move forwards 2 with deflecting maneuver, we can do an air support. I think we're going to need a short rest. And we might need a deadly shot on him to get the poison in. And I think we're going to want to slash him as well. So, assuming we use our boots, something that hops over 2, at least. Ooh, Twin Strike will also give us piercing. And then Cascading Reaction is a big solid attempt to take this guy down. I'm happy with that. Sure, we can use Prudent Preparation. Shockwave and Deadly Shot will get the poison on him straight away. He may be doing retaliation stuff, but that's not really going to affect most of our maneuvers this turn. Oh, the air support's just out of range. What a mistake. Deadly Shot, at least. Oh, he's immune to poison. This all became a bit more complicated. Still, he's not going to attack us this turn. So I can start running around. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 5 to there. This is safe for us to get to. That's 3 damage. We could tank the 3 damage and get close to this so that it starts taking its own damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'd want to be one space further across, so let's not do that. We'll do it in 2 parts. Coming round. So we've got 1 use of precision aim, 1 use of sustained momentum, many uses of relentless. Blink Blade. It's kind of all on you for what we're going to try and do here. Hop over. Have the first stab. That's good. I don't think it's worth us moving around. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We can move to here. die in 3 turns. That's reasonable. Good job, Sarah. Extra shield. Bit late, mate. Regroup meat grinder. We'll bring the banner in and... well, we're not going to be in a position to actually hit him with the meat grinder, but the banner will be there. Power leak is a strength 4 hit. We could kill him with that. And then temporal displacement as an attempt. Oh, no, we can just kill him with sand in the hourglass. That will work. And then use power leak to step on a loot. We're going to do draining arrows. We're going to get in between the two, well, probably up here. So rather than doing draining arrows, let's actually go slowly. And we'll try and get a use of our momentum back. Hopefully we move slower than the artillery. We do. Blink blade. Sand in the hourglass. So sad. And yeah, switching over light to dark, dark to light. Move in, grab what's there. $6 gold, pretty big. Let's get the banner in. We'll do it over this side. You're going to attack at range 4. But it's only 2 damage. Let's start you on your way in. Oh, big hit. Shield takes a little bit off. We got very unlucky with both of those. Chunk of flesh, skip the attack, do the healing, and get back one of our momentum moves, please. And then we will get up to here. Ready for next turn. Short rest on the banner spear. We're going to have to go slowly on the blink blade. But we can go a little bit faster over here. Draining arrows and vile assault. Yeah, we can lose at all costs. Set for the charge will move us in reasonably far. Regroup will give a bit of healing out. Nice and useful. Just in time to get shot. Ah, thankfully, it didn't do much. At least that attack didn't. step on in. We'll get back a use of Relentless. And we're going to hit him with Vile Assault. That's okay. Blink Blade. I think we're in a pretty good place with you right now. We're not going to do a huge amount of damage with this, but if we roll high, and we have rolled high in the past, we did not roll high. At least we're next to it for next turn. If we move a little bit closer, then air support, we'd need to stand there. Yeah, we can step on the trap to make that work. Or we use Meat Grinder to move 1, 2, 3. We'll do a short rest over here, and a short rest over here as well. We can use Shockwave, and we can use Blurry Jab. It's fine. Against this guy, Chunk of Flesh, nice solid hit. And then Draining Arrows to move away. Twin Strike is good for many hits, but we could just do a big hit with Power Leak and then Temporal Displacement. Don't poison us, just get the hit. Unfortunately not that powerful, but that's a good one. Around the side we go. A little bit of healing out. Air support on the battlefield. And a disarm. If he was going to survive, it would have been cool. So now the incentive is to leave this guy alive so we can finish looting things. Let's get back and loot this. It's a lot of potential damage. Skip the shooting. Inertian loots unlock my private empire. You find an ornate letter sealed in wax. The stamp is a royal crest you don't recognize. Upon breaking the seal and opening the letter, you find exquisite calligraphy and decorative touches flaked in gold dust. It appears to be an invitation of some sort. My esteemed friends, this letter has found its way to you, and by that alone I know you are fated for grand things. Since you are of quality, unlike most other rabble I've seen in these blasted lands, I extend a warm, open invitation to join me and my court for a midwinter ball. I'm sure you've heard of my soirees. I can assure you it will be just as unforgettable as the rumours grace them to be. There will be dancing, merriment, and excitement unparalleled. I've enclosed a map to my estate that I trust you will hold in confidence. Come alone. When the winds howl and the winter sun drags in the sky in the bleakest way, we shall share toast and the warmth of roaring fire. His Grace, Emperor Ventilion. So, next round, Deadly Shot and continuous health, and we'll try and get him looted. And we'll just pick 2 to grab this loot over here. We can lose air support. Set for the charge, we'll move 1, 2, 3, 4, and meat grinder will do some damage. Let's get in and let's try and get it killed. Time to use the falchion. Down it goes. Drifter, go loot the loot. A magnetic cape. I am curious as to what that's going to be like. Step on, grab the last bit of loot, and I think we are done here. Yeah, we got it all. Victory is ours. We have our first level 5. We managed to achieve each of the battle goals. That's pretty stonking. I'm very happy with that. Let's go back to the outpost.
How long has this place been hidden, buried and forgotten by the rest of the world? And how could these metal creatures still be functioning after all that time? It gives you pause, this line of questioning, because to answer it would upturn your understanding of history entirely. Perhaps then you should keep your thoughts on present matters. You search the preserved room carefully, minding that you don't trigger any surprises lying in wait.
Like traps.
Near the doorway, you find a series of small indentations set in the floor that glow with a faint blue light. You dust them off and study their strange luminescence, realizing that the indentations are shaped much like the automaton's feet. Conduits, perhaps, some way for the machines to regain power. But if that is true, then there must be a power source.
Indeed.
You fiddle with the conduit ports and discover that each is connected to a thin metal cord buried underneath the stone floor, and those cords in turn run farther into an eastern passage. That path is dark, however, and there's no telling how many automatons wait at its end.
Well, clearly we're going to have to follow that path. Each hero in the party gains 15 experience. That was a big one. And we've unlocked the Temple of Liberation. Puzzle solution. You find Kren much as you left him, cloistered in his small room, surrounded by his surreptitiously begotten books and muttering to himself. However, unlike last time, he's up and moving around. "My pugilistic chum," he says when you knock on his doorframe. "What a pleasure to see you again so soon. Have you already cracked the cipher then?" The Quattrell clicks his tongue and examines your findings. He mutters, looks at his own notes, which are now nailed to the wall. "Ha!" Crane shouts. "Fancy that! Look here!" He tears down one of his sheets and brings it over. On it are several lines of the ancient numerical system, apparently copied directly out of the source text. Using your new system, he translates a few of the lines and ends up with a fairly basic equation that he solves without trouble. "Done it then," Crane says with a bit of guarded surprise. "Had you marked as a fighter through and through, but it seems there's a scholar trapped beneath all that muscle." He lets out a high cackling laugh that carries on far too long. You wonder when the last time you got some fresh air was, and ask as much. "Fresh air? There's no time. We have the numbers! The numbers! Now I can get to work on the alphabet. Then we'll know what the secrets hide in the book." He holds up the musty tome, and a few pages fall onto the floor. "Which reminds me." He retrieves another slip of parchment from the wall and hands it to you. This one is scrawled with a section of text copied in the lost language. "Let's see how you do with this. Take note, there are some scribbles there in the corner concerning 2 unrelated words. Something about ancient technology. Not sure about any of it, but if you have 2 words that fit right there, it might lead to something else."
Regardless of season, Frosthaven and the surrounding environment is covered in a blanket of snow year-round. This week shows that even the most reliable of weather can take a break every now and then. The sun is shining, the air is warm, and the icy paths have melted into mud and stone. The outposters are taking advantage of the heat wave by enjoying a splash at the bay. The Quattril mail carrier has taken to delivering popsicles made with ice, harvested from the shade of the mountainside. And even Mare Satha has paused her duties to take a running dive off the dock into the still, cold water. Only one group is going about as normal, the town guard. Captain Olmsted has demanded the guard be at high alert and double the patrols. He barks orders from the harbour tower at the sweating guards on patrol.
All manner of sea life is just waiting to eat us alive. Be ready for them.
The fully armoured guards look to be on the verge of collapse in the sweltering heat.
I don't think giving guards the day off is the right move. Certainly, doubling the patrols is a bad idea, but safety first. It's good to have someone watching out for the relaxing populace.
Screams ring out from the harbour, and Captain Olmsted blows a whistle hanging around his neck. Instantly, 2 teams of guards push past the outposters wading in the water and start stabbing spears at the icy waves. A red tint creeps through the bay. Lightning eels were about to make a quick snack of Frosthaven's populace. Good thing someone was on the lookout. And shockingly enough, the eels make a pretty tasty dinner.
Well, that gives us a morale and not having people be eaten, which is great. We have some things to do very quickly with our team members. We have a level up, first of all, for our drifter. Ooh. Survivalist to move and loot. And potentially heal. Or breakthrough. Before other bonuses, lose one of your active bonuses. So this stonks one of our active bonuses in order to do a big hit. I'm not sure if I like that, but it is a piercing hit. And it applies wound. That I think actually that's an optional bit. I think you can choose to spend one of the bonuses in order to apply wound, in which case this becomes very, very good. That's got high move on the bottom as well. I think we'll take breakthrough. Over in the perks, do we go for the +3? Maybe we start to go for the retrace. Replacing +1s with +0 regain persistent. I think that's fine. Nicely done. Okay. Secondarily, we have a level up for Seraph. So Seraph has finally hit level 4. Precision timing, add 1 to your attacks while slow, 1 speed while fast. That's an interesting one for just across the board. Also, it's got move, attack, move on the bottom. Or potent energy. Move and attack where it's based on the number of time tokens we have. Sorry, potential energy. It's not a terrible thing. This would probably be somewhere between 2 and 4. I do like the idea of boosting some of our slow abilities. Like this with Twin Strike would make Twin Strike slow still very powerful. think we'll go for precision timing. And then we've got a perk, of course. I think it's time for us to start pushing for the hasten things. Seeing as we've got 2 of them, we may as well get 2 of them and start really playing with time. Our new cards need to go in. Breakthrough instead of bloodletting? Yeah, that seems a fair swap. And what are we going to swap out for our new precision timing? It might be time to lose temporal displacement. It has been nice having a ranged attack though, and we'll give it a go. See how it feels. I think that's probably a smart move. Very last thing, we found a magnetic cape. During your turn, perform teleport 20 next to one of your allies. Okay, so you can teleport from anywhere to next to one of your allies. That could be really handy. Situationally very good. I don't think we're going to wear it right now, but I like that as an item. Well, with that, that's going to be a good point to finish this episode off. Thank you very much for coming along, everyone. I do hope you've enjoyed this. As always, if you have, be sure to give a big thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, go ahead and do so, and you'll be told when the next episode goes live. Otherwise, I'll see you next time for another episode of Frosthaven. See you soon.